Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at game number 16 in our 20 from the Sega CD series. And this is a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up. This was originally released for the the Turbo Duo console. And this is called Lords of Thunder. And this was created by Hudson Soft and a company called 11 in 1995. And it is really, really quite cool. The best thing about this game is the heavy metal soundtrack. It is so awesome. Hear that bass too. And it plays throughout the game. It's really incredible. There was really nothing quite like this on the Sega CD in terms of this type of music. From the get-go, you can select to start your game, or you can select configuration, and you can play normal, hard, or super difficulty, and you can also do a sound test. This game has some anime-styled cutscenes. I have never played the original Turbo Duo version. From what I've heard, it's a little teeny bit watered down from that one. But I guess the gist of the game is that you are some sort of knight, and you can sport different types of armor for each stage that you play. And your goal is to prevent some guy from resurrecting some sort of god, some evil god. And your knight's name is Landis. And the main bad guy's name is Zaggart. And he is trying to resurrect the god Deoric?
The once peaceful land of Mistral was about to be plunged into a time of death and turmoil. From the darkest reaches of the land, the army of the Garuda Empire, under the command of High Priest Sornbel and the 6 Dark Generals, had begun the invasion of Mistral. Not since the Battle of the Gods during the time of the Sword had the beautiful countries of Mistral seen such savage destruction. In this battle, the legendary knight Drac, with the goddess Luxina, had sealed the evil god Deoric deep under the 6 continents of Mistral. The Garuda Empire's intention was to resurrect the evil god Deoric and to plunge the world into darkness. The people of Mistral fought to stop the invasion, but they were no match against the superior force of the Garuda Empire. As the last hope of the people of Mistral, one knight alone stands to save this land. His name was Duran, the last in the bloodline of the legendary knight Drac. Protected by the mystical armor of Drac, Duran alone confronts Sornbel and the Garuda Empire. Will Duran be able to stop the Garuda Empire and the resurrection of Deoric?
But before you start each stage, you can purchase things from a shop. And here are the bosses you will face at the end of each stage. And there are 6 stages, and then once you beat the 6th stage, then you can play a 7th. The game isn't... It's difficult, but it can be beaten, or early on, you can get pretty decent after a little bit of practice at this game. This isn't a groundbreaking shoot 'em up by itself. It's the soundtrack that really makes this game. We'll get started. I just wanted to show off some of the beginning here. But you get to put on different types of armor, and there are 4 different armors. There is fire armor, earth armor, water armor, and wind armor, and you can level up your weapon power. And thank God it is rapid fire. You can just hold down the fire button, and you'll just fire a constant spray of firepower. And depending on which type of armor you have, the bullets or the firepower will look a little bit different. And you can stage select from the first 6 stages. And here you can choose your different armor.
May I help you?
Much of the game, the fire armor is best. There are some stages where maybe a different type of armor is better, but for the most part, it's a good idea to use fire. But here is the desert planet called Desant, and then there is a water planet called Ozol. There is a volcano planet called Lamarada, a jungle planet called Bosk, an ice planet called Helado, and a water planet, or a clouds planet called Cielom. And you will see a certain gem sometimes from destroyed enemies, like I just picked up. And the gems will increase your weapon firepower. When you get close to an enemy, you will swing your sword and you will cause much more damage than your firepower, which is really cool. So you can actually lay waste to bosses with that technique, but you have to know when they're going to fire and when they're going to stop firing. And when they stop firing, getting close and get some good shots. A lot of the time in this game, enemies will just come from all over, and you'll have to kind of play a bit to know which direction they're going to pop up from. This is a good enemy to get close and get a whole bunch of hits on. And look at that firepower as you pick up more of those gems that we saw earlier. You will get stronger firepower. And again, you can just hold down the fire button for rapid fire, which is just awesome. The other things that are dropped from the enemies are crystals. They are blue and they are red, and they are your money when you are in the shop. The blue ones are 5, like 5 gold or whatever, and the red ones are worth 25. This game just takes a lot of practice, knowing where the enemies pop up from, knowing when to back off, expecting the enemies to shoot, and when to come in close and start slashing them to cause extra damage. Some of the enemies are really strong, and you'll need to come in close, perhaps, and slash at them with your sword. Yeah, you will automatically slash at them as you hold the fire button when you are close to an enemy. And that is a good strategy to use against the bosses. because the bosses otherwise can sure take a lot of damage. And something I didn't mention yet is there are special attacks, and there are orbs that you can purchase at the shop. And I have 2 of them, and you will see there I just used 1. And depending on which type of armor you have, and I have fire armor here, you'll have a different type of special attack. I was kind of clumsy here against this boss, but against the easier bosses you can kind of get away with that, as long as you do come in close and slash him here and there. And there I killed him. And you get some bonus crystals after you kill a boss. I got 500. So now I get to select my next stage. And I get to change my armor if I want, but yeah, for the most part, your fire armor is best. There are there you can get your energy back. The bottom meter in blue digits on the far right, that is my life bar. And above that is your power bar. And the higher it is, the stronger your fire power will be. There is also an elixir that will refill your life when you die. And you only get 1 life. And when that life is snuffed out, you have to spend a continue. And you get 4 continues, I believe. And you can actually purchase another continue in the shop. You can purchase a shield. And the shield will allow 1, 2, or 3 extra hits from a boss before you, or from an enemy before you actually get hurt. And yeah, there's like a strength 1, strength 2, and strength 3. They're shields that you purchase in the shop. Yeah, now I've got pretty decent firepower. Again, okay, look at the top left. On top is your score, and below that is the number of crystals that you have. And then again on the far right, I paused there for a second. Music keeps playing as you press pause. On the right, above is your power meter, and below that is your life meter. Yeah, the bigger enemies will more likely release not crystals. Well, they will release crystals, but also the power gems. And sometimes they will release a life gem, and that can restore some of your life. But that does not appear very frequently, so try not to be too clumsy in this game. But it's much more likely that you're going to come across a weapon power-up gem than a life power-up gem. So when you're in the shop and you're determining what you need to purchase for the upcoming stage, don't purchase the weapon power-up gems if you don't really need to, because like I said, you'll come across those much more often during the stage after beating enemies than getting life gems. Yeah, you can have really strong firepower. Fully powered up, I really like the, I think it's the wind. It's either the wind or the water armor. You can shoot enemies behind you. you just need to learn to determine which armor works best on which stage. When you see your character fly off the screen, you're about to face a boss. Whoops. Many of the bosses are really not that difficult if you can get in close and use your sword on them here and there. Like I said, that's a lot stronger than your actual firepower. And there we go. Yeah, the amount of crystals that you get after beating a boss increases the more bosses you beat. I think the desert is the best stage to start on.
May I help you?
That shopkeeper is actually your girlfriend, or maybe it's your wife. I'm not sure. It's not really stated implicitly who she is, how she's related to you, but they show the two of you about to kiss in the ending. But again, those hearts is your life, and you can get a little bit of life back, like maybe half your life back or all your life back, depending on how much money you want to spend. And then there was also the weapon power-up increases that you can spend money on, and you can buy orbs that will give you those special attacks. And it's always good to have one or two orbs at least. Maybe save them for the bosses or really, really hairy situations. You cannot be hurt while that special attack is going on. Yeah, just kind of learn where enemies will pop up on each stage and try to anticipate that. I remember seeing this at the stores. I never really played it until just recently. This guy is a pain in the ass, but he will fly away on his own volition, I believe. I mean, if you can get in there and score some hits on his center with your sword, and there he left me a life power-up, which again is pretty rare, you know, in the game, other than the shops. Yeah, familiarizing yourself with where the enemies pop up, what kind of attacks they make, is really a good strategy, as is knowing which armor to use on which stage. But boy, I am so thankful that you can use rapid fire in this game. Now on this stage you gotta watch it because the ceilings will collapse and you can get crushed. Yeah, I have not played the original game, which was released for the Turbo Duo. Whoops. But I have heard this is a little bit watered down. Maybe the graphics aren't quite as sharp. But I think the sound is a lot better on this one. Now, something I didn't mention yet is, as you take damage, your weapon strength decreases. So the meter will drop down a little bit for your weapon power. Come on, there we go. Yeah, watch out for those spiked balls. There we go. Now we're going to face the boss again. And I have all 3 orbs left. So I could maybe cause some extra damage on this boss. This guy you have to watch out because he'll turn into these bouncing balls and you have to try to figure out where they're going to fly to. Yeah, this boss is kind of tough. Yikes. Yeah, not doing too great here. Hey! Beat him. Thank God for those elemental orbs or whatever they were called. This game, Lords of Thunder, is actually a follow-up. There was a game called I'm trying to remember what it was called. Gate of Thunder. But again, this was originally for the Turbo Duo. I've never played the Turbo Duo. It is like a CD console version of the Turbo Graphics, I guess. I never played the Turbo Graphics 16 back in the day either. I remember seeing it at Toys R Us on display, but I played the Genesis and I was hooked on that. And I purchased a shield, and again the shield will allow at least one extra hit from the enemy before you actually start taking damage, and the top shield will allow 3 hits, then the second grade down will allow 2 hits, and then the first grade will allow 1 hit. I used to kind of imagine what it would be like to have an actually like speed metal or heavy metal or something soundtrack for a shoot 'em up, and here we have it. Lords of Thunder's soundtrack is so awesome. Yeah, if any of you want to chime in and tell me what the major difference is between this and the Turbo Duo version is, I'd be interested to hear, because I've never played the original. The only shoot 'em up that I remember playing for the Sega CD is Sylphid, and we will see that later on in this series. I hate this part. I hate those spiky vines or whatever. I wish you could just destroy them and be done with them, but no, they keep reappearing. And then you have to time getting through these spike gates here. Ah, crap. While enemies are shooting at you. Yeah, you need to get through that walking gate, or whatever you want to call it, as quickly as possible. More spike balls. Some of them will go all the way down, and some of them will only go halfway down. Now I'm in deep trouble. Shit. Ah, one more hit. Ah, there we go. Well, again, you only get 1 life, but you get 4 continues, and I will elect not to do that. And if you just sit there, then those candles will go out and you'll go back to the title screen. But we will see snippets, at least, of the rest of the stages and the rest of the game. But yeah, that's Lords of Thunder, created by Hudson Soft, and also a company called, what was it, 11? Yeah. And again, this is the follow-up to an earlier game called Gate of Thunder, which I've never heard of before. Will see me defeat the rest of the bosses in this game. I think there were a couple of female bosses. But yeah, anytime that you get the opportunity, go in close and start slashing their weak spot. It'd be nice if the boss could actually leave you crystals or weapon power-up icons or health up icons. I may have seen like a little snippet of the Turbo Duo original on like YouTube or something, and I don't think it had voices in it. But yeah, if you know for sure, leave a comment and let me know exactly what the differences are between this and the Turbo Duo original. Like I said, I remember seeing this in the stores. This bird here is pretty tough. But yeah, usually the bigger enemies will leave some nice weapon power-up icons and a bunch of crystals, or maybe a health up icon. But yeah, we're not going to watch a whole playthrough. I'll just show snippets of the remainder of the stages. Those stag beetles, or whatever they are, that pop up from the ground and sometimes the ceiling, they'll often leave a whole bunch of crystals and nice weapon, possibly health power-ups. Here's another boss. Yeah, I guess the best elementals for the different stages, or the elemental armors for the different stages, is the desert descent. Use fire. For Ozol, the water planet, use fire. For La Mirada, the volcano, use fire. For Bossk, the jungle, use earth armor. For the ice, or for the the ice planet, Helado, use fire armor. And for the planet Cielom, which is in the clouds, use water.
May I help you?
There's probably... This might be the water. I think this is the water armor here. And I love this. Man, look at that. Fully powered up, almost fully powered up. You can shoot behind you. This is badass. Yeah, whatever way you can really power up your armor, do so, and you can really take out the enemies. That big fireball is annoying. You have to kind of try to lead it a little ways before it'll leave you alone. Yeah, those serpents are very fast. I was hoping that there was some sort of cheat patch or cheat file for this game, but I could not find one. I like those turtles. When you're strong enough to take them out easily, they'll often leave you a whole ton of crystals and at least weapon power-up icons. Again, when you take damage, we're off to another boss. When you take damage, your weapon power-up will decrease, or your weapon power meter will decrease. I'm in trouble. Take damage, damn it. Ouch. One more hit and I'm toast. Ah. Rats. Oh, he was almost dead. Well, let's move ahead to me killing him. And here's a anime story cutscene here.
Duran had defeated the 6 Dark Generals and protected the 6 continents of Mistral, but the High Priest Sornval had been successful in the construction of the Dark Tower over the Seal of Deoric. With this tower to magnify his force, Sornval will be able to resurrect the evil god Deoric.
So now we're gonna play the 7th stage coming up here. I don't think I wore the wind armor yet. We will see that. We will see that a little bit later. I didn't use it in this game, or during this gameplay. But yeah, each armor that you use has a unique special orb attack. And again, you can get a maximum of 3. And once you use them up, you're going to have to wait until the next opportunity to go to the shop to get more. Because they will not appear like from defeated enemies, like the life up or weapon up icons. I hate this frickin' guy. Look at those giant spike balls swinging. And enemies, of course, trying to shoot the hell out of you. And more spike things going by. I hate how fast those serpents are. Sometimes there'll sort of be a sub-boss, like this one. You have to shoot these, or destroy these gate things, and then you can move on. I just can't get over how awesome this soundtrack is. Just really frickin' well done. Yeah, you shoot it, whatever that is, its heart. But yeah, using your sword causes much more damage than your firepower. So if you pick the right time to get in there and start... Oh, that was fortunate, because that was just about dead. If you can pick the right time to get in and start slashing the hell out of their weak point, do so. You can end a boss battle a lot quicker than you thought you might. Yeah, fire armor works best in most situations. I'm not sure if there were more games in the Lords of Thunder or whatever Thunder series. Now there is one last stage, or one last boss. Not right here. I think this is a good goddess. Yeah. Goddess Luxia? Is that her name? Yeah, your character's name is Duran. Not Duran Duran, just Duran. I paused for a second. I've got 3 orbs. So I kind of like my chances here. Taste of a fire dragon. This guy has multiple different forms. See another one coming up here. This guy especially, if you can get in close and start slashing his body, do so, and you'll quickly force him to move on to his next form. And here is his last form coming up. I've used all of my elementals. Excuse me. About time for bed for me. And this is especially where you want to start slashing his weak point. And his weak point is his mouth. Get in there and start slashing away. Although he'll breathe out some sort of projectile attack, so you might want to get out of the way of that. Yeah, you got to get in there good. He won't bite down on you, but yeah, he'll shoot some sort of projectiles. Well. Yeah, that was quick. And now we get to see the ending of Lords of Thunder. But that is Lords of Thunder, created by Hudson Soft and 11 in 1995. Pretty late in the Sega CD life. It was not long after that the Sega CD was discontinued. Good little system. It was very innovative for its time. Really did anime scenes quite well. And he takes off the armor. And there's his wife or girlfriend, the shopkeeper. And they are about to kiss, but that doesn't happen. We don't get to see it, at least. Not much of an ending for Lords of Thunder, but still, what a great game. Great, just unbelievable soundtrack. And on its own, it's a pretty good game. Good power-ups, good upgrade system. Cool shop, cool items. I didn't get the elixir, which was 2,000, and that will refill all your life when you die, nor did I get the continue, and the continue gives you an extra continue, but you have 4 continues, which is pretty nice, really. Just remember that you only have 1 life. But that is Lords of Thunder, created by Hudson Soft and a company called 11 in 1995. It might have just been Hudson Soft that did the Turbo Duo original. But we are going to go ahead and look at, I think it was the wind armor that I did not show off yet. We'll look at some of its strengths and the elemental attack that you can use when you're wearing it. Yeah, there's the wind armor.
May I help you?
We'll scoot forward to me using it. It's kind of nice. Try to get it powered up maybe a little bit more. And there's an elemental attack. Yeah, this spiny guy can be kind of strong. But that was Lords of Thunder, created by Hudson Soft and 11 in 1995 for the Sega CD. Game number 16 in our 20 from the Sega CD series. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching, and I hope you join me soon for game number 15. Bye-bye, folks.